And now you can see the Friday Shot Day Show in all its video glory on our YouTube page at roughedge.tv.
Rough Edge FM at roughedgefm.com.
It's tiki time at Harbor Cove Cafe. Dive into the tropical paradise at the end of Spinnaker Drive in Ventura with vibrant drinks, delicious bites, award-winning fish and chips, and more. Now featuring extended hours and happy hour. Fridays from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m., Saturday and Sunday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Harbor Cove Cafe, the hidden treasure at the end of Spinnaker Drive. Visit harborcovecafe.net for more information.
Turn it up, get ready for the roar. Friday Shot Day Show, knocking on your door. Grab your glass, pour that liquid fire. We're gonna drink till we can't get no higher. Friday Shot Day Show, gonna make you scream. Raise your glass high, live that wild dream. Feel the burn, let it take control. Pour another round, lose your soul.
Friday Shot Day Show.
Sorry, I was goofing around trying to find stuff.
And me too. I'm looking for pictures.
This is the Friday Shot Day Show live here on Rough Edge FM. I am R. Scott Bolton, and that is Julie, Miss Fireball Landine, sitting right there. Yeah. And by the way, I am also Agent 00 ABV, as everybody knows, because I can't drink much alcohol anymore. Got a pretty good report from my doctor today, but it included drinking no more alcohol. So I'll have a sip here and there, but that's about all I can do. But all is good. And this is the 20th anniversary of this show, which might explain some of the liver problems.
Yeah, well,
20 years of doing this weekly.
Do some detox in between.
Yeah. And so anyway, that's what we're going to celebrate 20 years today with some photos from the old days, with some clips of a first time that we tasted Slivovitz on this show. I had a video. It was actually just audio of Julie on her first visit to the show, which was in October of 2013.
Whoa, it's
been 13 years that she's been doing this show with us. And just some other funny stuff that we got here, including some photos and stuff like that. So anyway,
crazy shit that we do.
If you're listening to this show via the audio podcast, check it out at roughedge.tv. You'll see everything there because, as I said, we do have some photos and clips that you'll want to see. So you just tune in that way later and you can see those clips as we run into them here. So Julie, can you believe it's been 20 years that this show's been running?
I can.
It's
stunning.
Your
liver tells me it's been 20 years. Yes, I can believe it.
20 years we've been doing this show. And it started out way back in 2006 when a group of us, Doug, my brother, I, of course, and our friends John DeRuvo, who still does the Backseat Mogul show, and Keith Guyot, who does not do much of anything anymore. And poor Keith passed away a few years ago. I worked for a television producer, and he decided he wanted to be a radio personality. So because he was a television producer, he could afford to, and he had Barry Funkhauser, who's a good friend of ours to this day. He's running a station out in Camarillo right now, Cam Radio. And somebody from KLOS come up and build us a little studio in a back room we had at the office of this television producer. And he did his show, which was called simply enough, The Burt Rosen Show. He was Burt Rosen, of course. And that was on Saturdays from... Well, actually, we were doing it daily when we moved in there. It was originally on Saturdays on KVTA radio, and then it went Monday through Friday with Bert from 8 to 10, I think, live from the studio in the back of his office. But that's all we did. And I'm thinking it's kind of a waste to have this radio station set up, which we were broadcasting via internet radio. This was even before podcasts became a thing, just for one show. So I created a number of shows. One by accident, which was a Friday Shot Day show. And the others were Backseat Mogul Show and Rough Edge Radio, which Rough Edge Radio was a hard rock heavy metal station, which I love to do. We can't do it anymore because we had a certain setup there that allowed us then. We can't do that now. But anyway, so we started those shows, and then in the afternoons on Fridays, Doug and Keith and John would come over to the office, and we'd sit around and we'd have a few beers and relax and get ready for the weekend. Well, one day, Doug said, "Why don't we just turn the microphones on and make this a show?" I said, "That's pretty funny." So I emailed Barry Funkhauser, and I told him, I said, "Hey, look, this got this idea, blah, blah, blah." He goes, "Do it now." So the next week we were on the air with the Friday Shot Day show, May 5th of 2006. And we've been running ever since then. Now we have had offers. We had one offer to go to live on a Florida station, an AM or FM station in Florida. But here's the catch. They wanted us to do 2 to 5 in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
No thanks.
Not a time to drink.
Not going to happen. So even if it would have been 3 hours earlier here, we still weren't going to do that kind of a show. So we passed on that. Plus, I don't think the guys back then were quite ready for actual FCC regulated radio. Something would have slipped and we would have got fired for sure. But at least we got an offer, you know.
Right.
And we've been out. We've done many remotes with local businesses. Harbor Cove Cafe. We've done a couple there. Yeah. Barrel House 101 was our first. And I don't know if you saw this or not, but Barrel House 101 is remaining open. They're changing who they are and who their intent is. But I think they're staying in the building and just changing.
Are they changing the name?
Yes, it's going to have a new name, and they're not going to have 101 beers anymore. They're going to kind of.
We kind of figured that might be
exactly. Joby's too smart to let things fade away. You know, if Joby ends a business, there's another one's getting ready to start right away, and that's what's happened there. But we've done it from them. We did one at what's that brewing company we did down there?
Oh, Leashless?
Leashless Brewing. Yeah, very nice broadcast we did there. Tasted some fantastic organic beers, and that place is still going strong out there. So. We've achieved a lot in 20 years.
Okay.
And as I said, Julie joined the show in 2013, so she's been on for 13 years now.
Don't forget the Grape.
Oh, of course, we did the Grape at least a couple times, and they've been on our show. We've been at their place, and we hope to do that again very soon, because the Grape is just a terrific place all the way around, run by terrific people, and they're just fun to hang out with.
They are, and we also did that remote show on the boat.
For the Grape.
Yes. So we've done it at their bar and we've done it on their yacht, which was an awful lot of fun too.
Yes. And I'm trying to think if we've done any other remotes. I think that's pretty much it.
Oh, no. We did the remote, that bar that's off of the avenue. Not the avenue. Is it the avenue? No, off Main Street. It was a party that we did. It was some sort of
it was a tiki party that Chakra had put together. Yeah. Dr. Chakra, who's now a part of the show when he gets a chance.
Room, which was a remote show. Usually when we did our show.
Uni Room was Chakra's bar in his garage that we did shows there from. But yeah, that was just, we've done a lot of that stuff. Yeah. And we can plan to continue being around for a long time. But like I said, sometimes you got to pivot. And when I got hit with, you're not drinking anymore, it was time to pivot. So now I'm drinking these, non-alcoholic things. So I got one today, which I'll tell you all about here shortly. It's got a pretty interesting history. But we're going to start with me just a little, with Julie as much as she wants. This is the Jameson's triple that you've heard her talking about the past couple of weeks. And it is a whiskey, and I love my whiskeys. And Julie says it's the best whiskey I've ever had.
I don't know that it's the best, but it is definitely up there. It is definitely good. It has got a really nice taste to it.
I'll take a little sip of that and we'll see where we're going from there. But that was one of the things the doctor told me today. He said, everything's looking good. And I told him, well, it's because I haven't had a real drink in 6 months. And he goes, well, that's good. That's part of what's so I got to keep not drinking, but I can have a sip occasionally.
Yep.
So that's what we're trying right now.
So this is a triple distilled, triple cask bourbon, sherry, and chestnut casks. It's an Irish whiskey. It's extra smooth with layers of flavor. It says velvety notes of toffee, cacao, toasted almonds, and an extra drop of smoothness.
I will tell you that this has got a very mild bouquet. It's very gentle, but it smells good. But it doesn't. If you smell Maker's Mark like that, it burn your nose.
Yeah, you know.
And Maker's Mark, as you all know, is my favorite whiskey. So, chin chin.
This is definitely something that you're going to go, oh, wow.
And I don't like it. Yeah, right. It is, it's surprising because it is so smooth. There's a little bit of burn, just a hint of burn on it, but the flavor coats your tongue. How do you describe that flavor?
You get the flavor first, then you get a little bit of burn, and then the flavor kind of settles in.
Yes, that's exactly
so you're not
right.
getting so much burn that you don't really get to have all those flavors that you're looking for.
What are the flavors? Can I pick any? What does it say on the bottle again?
It says toffee. I don't know how to pronounce it. Cacao, toasted almonds, and so
toasted almond. I can definitely get toasted almond out of it. I'm not so much cacao. I don't get any of that.
I get a little
maybe
bit
a hint,
toffee.
maybe a hint, and toffee as well. But mostly the.
But it's such a nice sipping because
it
it's
is
so smooth. But it's not so smooth that it feels like you're not drinking a whiskey. It just,
right.
It's not punching you in the face.
Right. It's not watery. It's not like it's been watered down whiskey. It's just a gentler whiskey, I think, because it's what's the ABV on it?
It is 40%. So
about standard.
Yeah.
Even a little less than standard. Actually, I think most are 45.
Yeah, it's 40%. But it's definitely one that I like. And if you're not sure if you like whiskey and you're trying to get into it, settling in with this is definitely. And right now, Vaughn's has it on sale. I just picked it up today for $27.
That's not bad at all.
No, not for something that tastes that good.
Yeah. I mean, a bottle of Maker's Mark cask will cost you $60.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you? Yeah, this is decent stuff. Doug was going to join us in the show today, by the way, but he's having computer issues in Costa Rica, which is not good news because if there's something wrong with his computer, it's very difficult to replace a computer in Costa Rica and even more difficult to get parts if you want to repair it.
So he can't order parts from here and have it shipped down there?
He can, but they notoriously don't make it. Plus they add all kinds of taxes onto it. So
that's a bummer.
Yeah, there's no way to get around that.
Okay. So this past weekend.
Very good stuff. A thumbs up on that.
Yeah. This, I think it was Saturday. I ended up having to pick up Jim because we had our van fell apart.
Swell.
Which was sucking big time. But so I went out to Enzo's because he was doing his table hopping.
Yes.
And I went a little.
Enzo's at the
tavern,
the Glen Tavern Inn in Santa Paula.
And I went to go and sit at the bar and just have a cocktail and hang out.
She had picked up on?
No. But the first, oh my gosh, old fashioned. I got my typical Maker's old fashioned because I love a Maker's old fashioned. Well, then I don't know if I showed you the picture.
I think you did.
Picture. Okay. So how would I have shown you that?
Didn't you send it to the Friday Shot Day show?
Did I?
I want to say yes, but anyway, go ahead.
Possibly.
Yeah.
So anyhow, I took this really funky picture and everybody was laughing that because Jim had just done a trick at this table and he was talking about Calvin, who is this ghost that supposedly is around the place. And when I took the picture, there was a waiter who was walking by and he got right in front of Jim, right at the right moment. But he became like this transparent blur. And you really couldn't see Jim at all.
You did send us that picture.
You had this transparent blur that just looked so
ghostly,
otherworldly. And so Jim saw it, and then he thought, I'm going to play this up because I kept telling him Calvin was standing right over my shoulder. So he went to the table, and he showed him the picture, and everybody went ballistic at the table. Oh, my God, because, you can make anybody believe anything. So they were so thrilled, and they were having so much fun. They bought us Jim and I a drink.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so Jim drinks his Dr. Pepper, fine. They asked what I was drinking, and I said I was drinking an old fashioned. So they ordered the Enzo old fashioned, not the Maker's old fashioned.
Okay.
At first, I would have said, no, I really stick to the Makers because I know if I'm doing Makers, I know I'm going to like it, because sometimes they'll use a whiskey that it changes it for me and I don't like it.
At Enzo's or in general?
Just in general.
Okay.
In most places, if I'm not entirely sure what type of whiskey they use behind the bar, I go with the Makers because I know I like Makers. And so he made the drink, and then he looked at it and he went, "Oh, it's for you." And I said, yeah, but that's fine. I'll drink the one you made. And he's like, "Oh, well, it's what our signature old fashioned is." I don't know what whiskey he used, but it had a different taste that I actually really liked.
Oh, I wonder what it was.
A little spin.
Yeah.
Which was a little different than the Maker's taste. And it was a little bit more of, there was a spice taste to it almost that was like, I don't know, it was hard to explain it.
I wish you got the whiskey name from that, because that had to be what made the difference.
Well, I know how to find out because Jim does his magic there on a regular basis. So next time I'll go there again and I'll figure out what he makes.
Is he there tonight?
No.
Okay. Oh, because you guys are going away.
We're going away, and we have to get our little butts in bed tonight because we're getting up at 1:00 in the morning. But it might even be a whiskey. I don't know what the whiskey is.
You got to find out. Yeah. Next time you're there for sure. If I'm there before you, I'll ask. I'll find out.
It's a good, I mean, it was good. What I got from this is it wasn't an old fashioned that I was disappointed in. It took it and gave it a different flavor than the Maker's old fashioned, but I was pleasantly surprised by the flavor. And I will probably order that one again, even over the Maker's this time.
Really?
I did like that little extra taste that it gave.
I'm really curious on what that is, see what the difference is. And the fact that it's an Enzo's old fashioned, maybe it is something else. Maybe they add another.
It might be, but I know that whatever it was, there was like this, it was a little spice that just tasted just a little bit different than just regular whiskey. For whatever it was, whether it was the whiskey or whether they put something else in it.
Yeah, I wonder.
It was good. I was pleasantly surprised with it, and I would definitely order that one again the next time I go there instead of a Maker's.
So if you're at the Glen Tavern Inn in Santa Paula here, come on down and ask for an Enzo's old fashioned and give it a shot, because it's got Julie's thumb up. And if you tell them that Julie on the Friday Shot Day show gave you a thumbs up, you get 50% off. That's not true. I made that up.
But if you tell them that you know James the magician,
they'll take good care.
They'll take care of you. The bartender's name is James.
James.
How
many Jameses are there, for crying out loud?
He's been around. He's been there for quite some time. He's not a spring chicken. He's not like old, but he's definitely worn that hat for a while. And so he knows his stuff, and he does a good job. He didn't even recognize me at first, because whenever I go there, I'm not generally sitting with Jim. Jim's usually working the floor, doing other things. So at first he was like, "I need your credit card." And because I have Venmo for my card, I don't use credit cards. I use my Venmo. He's like, "Well, I have to hang on to your card because it's a debit card." And there was all these like things I had to do if they couldn't just like put it on file because of the debit card.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's fine. I'm not going anywhere until I leave. But then all of a sudden he realized that Jim was my husband. And then he gave me my card back and he says, "I know how to find you."
You're off the hook because I know where you live.
Yeah. And all the guys take care of us there.
They take care of everybody. That place is such a nice place. It's got its history. It's got the great food, the awesome drinks. Yeah. It's got the magic going around the tables. And I was going to say comedy too, because James is a very funny guy. Yeah. And it's worth going out to.
Jim works the joint. I mean, he walks into the kitchen. He goes all over the place. You would think he's part of the management because and all the waiters have his back and they all take care of him. And so
as they should.
But he does a lot to make their job better. He actually doesn't just do the magic. He goes around. Yeah. He kind of almost acts like a maitre d'. He checks on all the people. He asks how things are, if they're enjoying their food, and he reports back to the staff. So that way sometimes the staff gets a little apprehensive to talk to people. They'll just say, oh yeah, it's fine. But if it's somebody that they don't think is necessarily staff, they might be a little more honest.
Yeah.
And so,
And he's so good at dealing with people anyway. He's one of those people like my father was, who can walk up to anybody and start a conversation.
He'll make you feel at ease.
And he does. He makes you feel like he's, this guy, first time you met him, but you feel like you've known him forever. So my dad was too. And I really envy people like that, because I usually will stand around going, for example, we were at a bar last night, the Fallen Trident. It's a tiki bar in Newhall. And I'll talk to you about that next week, because I wanted to do the anniversary stuff today. But we had a terrific time there. Great bartenders. But at one point, we were the only people sitting at the bar, and they brought this young lady in, and she sat down right next to me. Now there's 10 seats at the bar, but 3 of us were at one end, and it wasn't her fault. I found out later they actually asked her to sit there. Maybe they had a party come in or something like that, but I didn't say a word to her. And I felt, as I left, I thought, I should have just said, hi, what are you drinking? Have you been here before? I could, but I'm just not good at that.
Well, I can confess, I am not either. But the more I've been doing things with PTYA, and the more I've been doing things here, and the more I've been around my husband, I'm learning how to be better at it. It does take more effort for me. There are times where I'll be somewhere and I would just as soon keep, to myself, because I can be very shy. I can also be very friendly, but I tend to go towards the shy first if I don't know people. And I've been really trying. And I noticed that the more I try like that, even in the grocery store, in line, just saying one little thing to somebody who looks like they're having a bad day sometimes changes everything for that person. So I've been really trying to be aware of that. And sometimes they don't receive you well, and they don't.
Well, I think that you have to reconsider your approach, though, Julie, because I've seen you do this kind of thing. And, you're standing in line behind somebody at the grocery store, and they turn and look at you, and you're all, sup, bitch. I'm not sure that's the right way to start a conversation.
Okay, let me tell you, this week, I think it was this week, I don't even know if I told you this story last week or not. I don't remember who I told this story to. I was in Target, and I was trying to buy some stuff, and there was Dr. Pepper. No, I wouldn't have told you. There was Dr. Pepper that was on the top shelf way in the back. Now, Jim is a Dr. Pepper guy.
He drinks as much Dr. Pepper, maybe more than I drink Coke Zero.
And I was trying to grab at it. But there was this lady that I had been, passing in the aisles, and she kind of looked a little sourpussy the whole time. I would walk in front of her, and if somebody's looking at something and I have to pass, I always say excuse me,
sure,
or sorry, or excuse me, or something, because I understand it's for no other reason than I know that I'm getting in your way and I'm just trying to be polite, and it's for no other reason. And she never said anything, never even hardly acknowledged me. So I thought, oh, well, she's kind of a tough nugget. But I just kept going, and we kept hitting alternate aisles, and we kept going. And then all of a sudden I'm climbing, trying to get to this Dr. Pepper that's on the very top shelf, way in the back. And I was not going to make it without knocking the whole entire shelf down.
Yeah, you shouldn't climb on those shelves.
So all of a sudden she comes up and says, can I help you? And I'm thinking, oh, okay, yeah, let's try. So she was a little taller than me. So she's now climbing up and trying to get it. Neither one of us were going to get to those back door steps. And I'm like, oh, my husband is so picky and he loves his Dr. Pepper. I got to get one. So we're looking around. I find this hanger, and I tried, and I was not quite tall enough. I didn't have the reach. So she climbs up and she grabs it with the hook, and she pulls, and we were both like high-fiving each other. And all of a sudden she was like, oh my gosh, that was so fun. And I realized maybe she was having a shitty day.
Yeah, you never know.
And doing that little interchange. And then we kept passing each other again. And then it was kind of fun after that. It was kind of like, oh, you're chasing me. Oh, you're following me, But you never know. People sometimes, they don't mean to be the way they are. They're just caught up in their life. And then if you get away from that, you can make somebody's day better. And she was like, oh, wow, that was fun,
I don't know about you, but the thing I try to be very friendly with everybody I pass, just whatever. Most of the time I'll just smile, give them a nice smile. Maybe I'll say good morning or good afternoon, what have you, but I'll always smile. The problem with it is that now, I can't believe I'm admitting this on the air, but the problem with it is that now if I smile at somebody and they scowl or they look away and they don't smile back, I think, the hell's wrong with you? What do you think you're better than I am? You know, before I didn't care because I didn't smile either. But now I like smiling. And you know, if they don't return the smile, they, come on, let's go outside.
Well, I'll tell you from the mouths of babes, when I was in Virginia for that whole summer, every time we went anywhere with my grandson, and he'd be in the cart. Now, his parents are both introverts, big time. They don't really socialize outside of their little circle. They kind of keep to themselves. But every time we'd go to the store, it didn't matter if it was a grocery store, didn't matter if it was Home Depot, didn't matter where we were. He'd be sitting in the cart, and every person he'd pass, he would say, hi. And he would say hi until they acknowledged him. And then as he passed them, he'd say, goodbye. And then if people didn't acknowledge him, he would say, hi, hi, hi. Okay, goodbye. And it was funny because a lot of people kind of got a kick out of it because it was funny because it was like, hi, hi, hi. And it's just innocent. He doesn't understand people not acknowledging him. He thinks, you didn't hear me. I said hi.
I'm saying hi.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi. You know, and Jen and Jake were like, how did two introverts have such an extrovert for a kid?
I hope that doesn't change for him. My son Josh, it changed for him when he was a kid. He was, you know, I can remember one time we went to Universal Studios and they're always asking for volunteers to come up on the stage. First one with his hand in the air. I want to be on stage. I want to go up there on stage. Now he's a lot more shy. And I don't know. I mean, Shelley and I are both very subdued like that. And I feel bad that we may have embarrassed him and pulled him back that way. So I hope that he stays that way.
I'm learning being a grandmother now from being a mother. I'm learning to take some of those things and appreciate it instead of trying to guide it so much because there are things you need to guide. Obviously, when you're a parent, you need to help your child become a great adult. But sometimes you need to realize that we as adults worry about things that aren't as important as we think they are at that moment.
No, that's true.
Appreciate. I think with Jared, I did a little bit more of that. I appreciated a lot of the things that he did. I appreciated his perspective on life, which gave him so much more freedom to experience things completely different. And I see how it's made him a different human being growing up. My others, I was so worried about what everybody else thought was the right thing to do as a mother. I didn't enjoy it as much as I did with him, where I sat back and kind of watched. And now with my grandkids, I'm even more so. I laugh my ass off watching my grandkids run around being absolute idiots because you get to see life again and you're thinking how wonderful it is to see life through the eyes of a kid because they look at life and it's so interesting for them. And just take the time. That's what taking the time to smell the roses is all about because they love life and they see life so innocently. And the things we worry about, those are not on their radar. And yes, you have to protect them, but enjoy them as well.
One of the things I learned early was, let me send this to Dr. Shocker here. Well, he may be joining us here shortly. That'd be nice.
Nice.
Just gonna figure out this damn Mac.
I drink so much of that.
There we go.
I have to be careful because I can drink that so easily.
Somebody said something to me one time and they were 100% correct. They said, if your kid mispronounces a word, don't correct it. Enjoy them but saying that word incorrectly as long as you can. And I remember Josh's word was the word for coyote because we would go to Bishop and there were lots of coyotes. Still are lots of coyotes up in Bishop. And he would go, Cowdoty. There's a Cowdoty. Mm-hmm. And no, I'm not going to correct him. I want to hear him say that as long as, you know, eventually he'll figure it out. You know, and then that's going to be sad because that Cowdoty, but I can, you know,
you have to take the time to stop worrying. There are things you need to help your child with, and then there are things you need to allow. Your child can teach you the beauty of life as much as you teach your child because kids see the world so innocently and so purely. And as adults, our vision gets a little bit cloudy.
It does.
Let your kids be that picture again, that brings all that brightness and that funniness and all those experiences because it gives you a second lease on life.
It does. It's just something bright and happy about it. And I actually love that.
And we need more of that in the world because we don't have enough of it.
Yeah. So I did bring something to celebrate with. It's not champagne because I can't have champagne, but it's what you do if you can't have champagne. But first, we're going to show this. This is going on tonight here at the House of Magic, Spellbound. Check out the information here. Sure, you've seen the big stuff on TV. They made the Statue of Liberty disappear. They've walked through the Great Wall of China. They've fired a .44 Magnum and cut the bullet in their teeth. But have you ever seen magic close up? I mean really close up. So close you can reach out and touch it. Well, now you can at Spellbound at the Table. Join your hosts, father and son team James and Joshua Lantine, as they treat you to an evening of close-up magic that takes place right before your eyes, mere feet or sometimes even inches away. Each month they welcome a special guest magician, handpicked from the legendary Magic Castle, who will astonish you with amazing feats that would seem impossible anywhere, except in a theater of magic. Spellbound at the Table, an awe-inspiring evening of miracles and wonder, takes place every second Friday at 7 p.m. at the House of Magic in Santa Paula. For more information or tickets, please call 1-855-300-4422 or visit thomagic.org. All right, so I got a message from Dr. Shocker. He wanted you all to know this. Aloha, fuckers. And also, he may be joining us here shortly. He's running Pele Utu. He's very busy up there. It's very loud up there, but he might join us for just a couple of minutes here shortly, and that would be excellent. So if you can't drink champagne, you automatically go to Martinelli's.
Yep.
And that's what I got. I got some Martinelli's here for us. And I actually love Martinelli, so it's not a bad thing for me at all. But now I can't get that fixed. The board froze with me on it. That is not going to be good. Okay, so anyway, while I'm here, I'm going to pour this champagne for Julie and I.
Okay.
And then
I do have a Los Borrachos.
Oh, good. Okay, so we'll get to that. Let me fix this camera here because this is the first time our Fulmaco box is ever frozen on us.
Ah.
So I don't know what's going on, and I'm not even in focus.
So I might doctor this?
Of course you might. All right, so Martinelli's, but why can't I go back? The whole thing's froze up. All right, you're going to lose me for a second, but we'll be right back, I promise.
What if you did it off the computer?
It's just this box that's wrong. But the box won't even turn off now. What the hell? This is the fun stuff about doing live television. No, I'm going to unplug it and plug it back in.
Okay. So I say, because we do have an IT guy.
We do. Okay, folks, if we're going to be off for just a second, we'll be right back.
Oh, we didn't go anywhere.
But it didn't do what I wanted to do. Maybe we should call our IT guy. Because you don't want to look at me for the next hour and a half, I promise you.
Hopefully our IT guy answers.
He's a busy man.
Come in the room for a minute. We are having a problem. Thank you.
Poor Jim. He's the one who's always asked for help, but I don't know what's happened here.
Well, and he is the expert. Okay.
Again, I apologize for you having to look at my face for this time. Shocker's going to be joining us shortly. Maybe I should play a video.
Do something.
Do
we have some like fun little antics of things of the past?
We do, but they're all very short. So we'll wait. Here's Jim now to see if we can help us. The box froze. Has it happened to you before? Never happened to me either. But I can't get it back to James Lantine, our resident expert, is working on this problem as we go.
Yeah, you see his arm?
It wouldn't
What
go
a
off either.
Lovely, sexy arm it is.
It is.
Mm.
Is that where the power supply was? I spilled a little bit on it, but I didn't. See, I told you we might be off for a bit, folks, but you may not even be able to hear us. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. He says we can still be heard. So we are fixing. That's it.
So-
The Fomico. By the way, it's a great box. It's the first time. There.
There we go.
Thank you, sir. I'm not going to touch it
Okay,
again.
so nobody probably understands my humor in that, but
You'll
I
have to
do.
explain it. Thank you, sir.
Love you.
Okay, so the power supply is in the right. Okay, so what was the humor?
You know what that sound is.
The only thing I can remember is a James Bond movie.
No, it's the the bed's bouncing.
Wow, I should have known that
Ah.
with the sexy arms and all. All right, so we're doing Martinelli. So I'm going to show you this way from now on because I want to freeze again. Julie,
Cheers, cheers, cheers.
salute to the 20th anniversary of the
Yes.
Friday Shot Day show.
And for me, who was so shy when I started, and I was so afraid, and that was back when we didn't have cameras.
That's right.
And you just kept telling me it's okay, nobody can see you. And
Now
I
they
kind
can.
of let go, and I started like letting my inner craziness out, and then it became a whole new me. And I will be forever grateful for the Friday Shot Day show for bringing out the fun side of me.
And she's got a fun side, I will tell you. So cheers to you all. Thank you all for listening and watching for all these 20 years. Julie's first show was she came on as a guest and then she kept coming
And I
back.
peeked in and I said, "Can I sit in?"
And do you remember what it was for? There was a reason you came in.
I don't remember.
It was the zombie run.
Oh, that's right. I wanted to talk about the 805 zombie run.
Right.
And but I was interested because you guys came in during when we had the Halloween shop over there.
Right.
And I think it was Brad saw the building and thought, "Oh wow, this is a great big building with lots of space." He said, "Can I bring some buddies over because it would be neat to kind of check out what you have to offer?" And then we just started like meshing, and we got you set up in a room, and
Gorgeous room too, man. I love that. That was probably
blossomed from there.
that was probably my first or second favorite studio. Because it was on the front of the House of Magic at that time.
No, that
Wasn't the
one
hou- wasn't the-
no, that was in the Mavericks building. and you were
Mavericks
in
building.
that
But what was that
room
called?
in the back?
What was that whole building called though? It wasn't a House of Magic. It
It was the House of Magic. It's
Okay,
always
yeah.
been the House of Magic.
okay.
But it was in one of those little back rooms.
Yes.
And it was the smallest one we ever had. And then we moved over to Portola and we had all those windows. And I
Both of those were
remember
great.
every fall, the crows, because of the pumpkin field, would start coming in. And it was like the birds. You just have crows going crazy everywhere.
Yes.
And
Um,
that's when we first met Shocker. And then Shocker had that episode where he drank a whole bottle of
Slivovitch.
Slivovitch and ended up doing a scavenger hunt around the city because he kept stopping around the city.
Yeah.
And his wife kept saying, "Well, he called me from here, but he's not there anymore." He ended up back at, I don't think these are on. Say something.
Shocker,
Hello?
say something to it.
No, these are not working.
Oh, we don't need them after all.
So he ended up traveling around the city a bit, and then he ended up back at the House of Magic, and I think that's where we ended up. She ended up finding him eventually, but that was quite an interesting adventure.
Do you remember that, Shocker, or not? And we can understand if not.
I remember parts of it.
I just remember all night long going, "Oh, wait a minute. He just said he was over here." And I just got there and he's not there anymore. And it's like, "Oh my God, Shocker, just stop. Let's put some super glue on your butt."
If I had to pick the partiest Friday Shot Day show, it would be that night. You guys showed up with those gas cans full of Mai Tais, which
Oh,
we
yeah.
drained. And then the bottles started getting passed around. And I remember we all went home. We had to take Scott and what's her nickname?
Love bug.
Love Bug home because they weren't driving anywhere. I don't know how.
Can you pump up your mic? Because I can
Say
barely hear
something
you.
again. Let me see if I can get your volume up. That is a really cool graphic you got going on right now. I think that's as loud as I can get it.
Mm.
So, but anyway, the next thing I know, Jim calls me and he goes, "Where are you guys?" And I said, "Well, we're all at home." And he goes, "Cause Shocker was just here, wondering where we went."
I think I was even at home.
Yeah.
And we were trying to track him down.
Yes.
You would not stay still. You were all over the freaking city. I don't know. You put on some miles that night.
It was a lot of fun though.
I was definitely lost, not having ever been through that neighborhood before.
So Shocker, I once again had the opportunity to talk about Pele Utu last night. You know what? I gotta thank you for that. With Pele Utu being what it is, every time I go to a tiki bar, I don't care where it's at, the topic comes up and I start talking about it. And I would say that 75% of the people I talk to already know about it and have plans to go there.
Nice.
Well, the tiki world, especially for owners and employees, it ends up being a very small world. You know, I had a guy, actually he's currently stationed at Wainimi, who is one of our regulars, and he came in to visit and he's like, "Shocker, come outside, I gotta tell you something. There's a new tiki bar opening in Camarillo." And I'm all, "House of Bamboo, they've been working on it." Yada yada yada. He goes, "Oh damn, I thought I was gonna let you in on a secret." I'm all, "No." The Newhall one though
is pretty niche. I think that people who love tiki, and it's not like every other bar where you can get them a dime a dozen.
Right.
A real true tiki bar. It's pretty niche.
And Shocker's right. The niche is even nichier when you go up to the owners, because the owners pay so much attention to what's going on. You know what the funny thing was though? We were at Fallen Trident last night, which I'll talk about next week. It was an excellent experience, by the way. We liked it a lot. But they knew of Ventiki and of Pele Utu. They didn't know Harbor Cove Cafe.
No, well, the hard part with Harbor Cove is it didn't start out as a tiki bar per se. It started out as just a breakfast and burger shack.
Right.
And then when Randy took it over, he started tikiing it out. And then once I got there, of course, it went much further. So even though they're coming up on 21 years of being in business, they weren't tiki the whole time.
Right.
And there only really have been a tiki bar for the last year because they just got their liquor license.
Well, that's true.
Liquor license part of it.
A real tiki bar, but Shocker had them set up with the soju tiki drinks, which were also pretty decent. I mean, as far as they were the best soju drinks I'd ever had. So,
but I'll tell you, they're growing in popularity really fast because I'll tell you, there are people that I've taken there and they are diehards now. They go there and they love it. And it's just because of everything about that place is wonderful. And because it's like this little place that's right in our community, but you kind of feel like you're getting away.
Yeah.
So, I mean, people love that place and it's wonderful. You go there and every time we go there and Randy comes out and he makes you feel like you're at home and it's just wonderful. I just love it.
I think that if maybe, and he wants to do this, I know he does, and he wants to do it soon, but I think once to get the Starboard Lounge, is that the name of it?
Yep.
Once he gets the Starboard Lounge name out there, people will think of it more of as a tiki bar because cafe does not say tiki bar.
No.
Starboard Lounge does.
Yeah.
So, you know,
but you can't deny how in Ventura, when it comes to places to go, it's really nice. The food is so great. The atmosphere is wonderful. Everybody really caters to you, and the drinks are amazing. They're top notch.
Oh yeah, it's my favorite place in town. I would have to say that. For
it is what's I'm so sold on going there, and I haven't really hated any drink that I've had there.
Yeah. No. So Shocker, did you have somebody who tends bar at the Silverton come see you in the past couple of weeks?
The Silverton?
Yeah.
Silver Legacy?
Maybe. Yeah.
Okay. His smoke. I'm sorry. This is like kind of really like getting to me, but you have the background, but then your smoke is staying completely within you.
It's awesome.
So it's like you, and then the smoke is going up you, but then it doesn't carry on beyond you.
It's a great effect.
So
Look,
it's kind of a funky look. It's kind of freaking me out.
it's a great effect. But did you have somebody come in from there that you recall talking to?
I know we had somebody come in that were a couple guys that worked at Silver Legacy.
That's got to be them.
Yeah, that's my guess.
The guy was on. He came onto the show in the chat room, and he spent
sharing
most of
a
the
lot.
show with us, and we talked to him about cocktails and everything else. And he knew of Pele Utu, but he'd never been. So the following week he did go. And the next week he reported back and said, I finally got to Pele Utu. It's the best bar in Reno. So that was pretty good. That was pretty
That's
good.
awesome.
Yeah. So how are things going there? I mean, you got music acts lined up, the yin yang.
I've got music lined up, not every weekend, but lined up. I'm booking into July and August at this point. So I've got bands coming out, and I turn a lot of bands away because, we're very particular about what music we play. And sometimes they're bands I want to see, but they're still not going to fit our crowd.
Right. Twisted Sister can't play there.
Yeah. Well, like we had one girl, and
There might
they
be an
do,
exception for that.
her and her partner do like, she goes, we do bossa nova and samba and reggae. And I'm like, well, the bossa nova and the samba could work, but the reggae definitely not. But she was talking about doing like contemporary songs and then putting them to a bossa nova beat. And I'm like, that sounds really cool.
Yeah, it does.
There's some fun shit out there. I've been watching is it Jimmy Kimmel? He does the music wheel thing where he takes a song and he puts it to a different genre.
Oh
my God. Chance the Rapper got Hot in Here, but country style.
Oh, fun.
Okay, now most people who have no clue of who Chance the Rapper is, he's a really cool guy. He really
There's
is.
a chance he is.
He's really nice. But that guy has got talent. He got up there. Nobody was thinking that song could be sung in a country genre and make sense. And he did it. And I was listening to it going, I like it better than the original by far. Because he knew what to do with the music. He's a producer. So he on the spot knew exactly what to do with the music. And his voice, he's a really good musician. And the musicians that obviously they have in the background are stellar because they can take anything and flip it fast. But it was so awesome. Everybody I've shared the video with is like, I like that version better than the original. And you think about it going, okay, yeah, sometimes some of this stuff really makes sense doing it a little different.
Well, Shocker was the one who taught me about those songs. You have a whole collection of those songs. I can't remember what they're called though.
Well, there's
mashes or something like that. The mixes.
mashups,
Yeah, mashups.
but there's also there's bands like Postmodern Jukebox that take contemporary songs, and they've done everything from like the 80s to today and rework them into swing numbers, lounge numbers, and their whole orchestra, and they work with various singers. You, of course, Richard Cheese and Johnny Aloha are famous for doing it. But I have a bunch of them. I have things like a band called the Birds and the Bees that do nothing but lounge covers of Hall & Oates songs.
Oh, fun.
I've got one called All in the Family, and they do lounge covers and swanky covers of Ozzy and Sabbath.
Nice.
So there's a
cool
bunch of
work.
people
It does.
doing it. To Postmodern and Richard Cheese are probably the two biggest names. But even, oh man, I'm blanking on Alan Sherman, the guy who did Hello Mutta, Hello Fada.
Yeah, that guy was a genius.
He put words to classical songs.
That's true.
I mean, he did rework things like Frere Jacques, But most of his songs, were just classical numbers that he wrote lyrics over.
Yeah. He's got a novel out, or I shouldn't say that because it sounds like it just came out. He's been dead for a while, but he wrote a novel called The Rape of the Ape. And I've always wanted to read that because his song and his music are so magical. And my understanding is he could do that in the spot. If he was on stage and somebody called out a number, he would do it instantly.
Yep.
That's a smart man.
And some people can do, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
True.
Because remember, we did the whole Def Leppard thing.
Yeah.
And they did, and there was some of their music that went really well. And then there were some things that was like, okay, that kind of sounds like a creepy stalker.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, you gotta mess with it. You gotta figure it out. But people who can do that on the fly, I watch a lot of The Voice and the American Idol and things, just because I'm in musical theater and it's nice to see what's out there and what people are doing. And I'll tell you, sometimes on The Voice, Jim was looking at something the other day and he's like, man, those musicians are amazing, because they'll be working something. And then all of a sudden one of the special hosts will come on and say, try it this way. And they'll flip right on the dime and they'll know exactly what to do, how to change something up. And it ends up being so amazing to be that type of level of musician. I'm in awe of
it. Blows my mind. It's like magicians. I feel the same way about. If you're that good of a magician, how much time did you put in that to become that? That's what impresses me the most. By the way, there's a band you can look up on YouTube called Los Quiseros, and they do Latin versions of Kiss songs in Spanish, and they're great. They're really fun. I like that kind of stuff myself. Well, Shocker, did you want to, we figured out that the Friday Shot Day show started in 2006. Julia joined us in 2013. I think you joined us like 5 years later, 2018. Does that sound right?
I had to have joined you before 2013. We left Mavericks in 2012.
The first show I have you on is October 2013.
Huh. That's funny.
Yeah. But
I think I started regularly appearing during COVID, because I'd be home doing dishes and then I started heckling you guys in chat.
Yes.
And you're like, because I'd already been on the show a few times.
Right.
And you're like, just call in.
Yeah. And we needed you. We needed somebody who was funny, who was smart, who knows more about the mixing a drink than anybody we know. I mean, the first thing anybody ever tells me is, well, what would you mix with this? Well, let's ask Shocker. Because
I guess we were still in the building then. I felt like we were out of the building by then. I guess not.
Yeah, it was 2013 was the first time that you were on the show there. Because I went through all of them and found the very first show with your name in it, and that was October of 2013. So yeah, so you've been doing it for those, and I know that, and everybody else knows, of course, as well, that you've been off as much as you've been on these days because you're running Peleutu, but everybody loves that too. It's terrific that you're out there doing that.
Yeah, it's like I told Rosie yesterday when you said it was the 20th, I'm like, I got to make sure I get on, and then of course I had to. We got everything prepped. Then I had to run across town to Sparks to hit cash and carry for things that were shorted on my delivery for booze.
Oh, great.
Get back, eat, and then I realized what time it was.
and I should have just sent you a link automatically, but I always assume that it's Friday. I know how busy Fridays are for bars and for liquor stores and that stuff. It's always hard for us to get guests because of that. I mean, when we do the grape, we got to do it on a Wednesday because there's no time to do it on Friday nights for them. But yeah, I'm glad you're here though. It's cool to have you.
Yeah, well, some Fridays it's quiet and I can jump on for a few minutes, and fortunately I can hear through the wall generally how crazy it is or isn't. But there are other days where we open the doors and we've got people waiting.
Yeah, exactly. And I get that. That's how it should be, by the way. That the business has to come first.
I'm trying to convince him to come on the show and replace me next week since I won't be here. And he's going to be in town.
Oh, well, he should then. Yeah. We're talking about Jared, by the way. Jared might be on the show next week.
he's finishing his finals this week.
Is he
And
able
so-
to?
Well, that's what I'm trying to get him to do. I'm trying to get him to.
No. I mean, is he able to finish his finals with the giant hack?
Yes, he said it's Canvas, and Canvas, a lot of the teachers don't put their stuff on Canvas. They just report things on Canvas. So,
Yeah, the kids out here at the university were telling me last night, because I hadn't heard about it last night, that some of them didn't have a problem, but some of them weren't able to turn in their final projects, their final papers.
it would be that type of stuff, but like finals are different. Where he is, all of his finals, as far as I know, are all in person.
Old-fashioned paper and pencil.
Yeah. But, there might be projects that end up but he said a lot of the professors are kind of on top of that, and because they said that would kind of really suck if
Yeah, it
you
would.
worked your ass off and all of a sudden they can't record your grade, because Jared's one of those kids who, if he doesn't get an A, he failed. So for him, his grades mean a lot. Some kids, as long as I passed, I'm fine. But, if you work that hard to get where you are and all of a sudden somebody comes in and screws it all up for you, that sucks.
Do they know who's behind the hack? Is anybody taking credit for it?
There's a hacker group. It's all ransomware.
Oh, it's ransomware.
But they went after the company that made Canvas, which became the predominant website since COVID, basically, for universities, high school, even my oldest high school got hit with it.
Really?
Now, of course, high school, they're not dependent on Canvas for, turning in their finals.
Right.
And it seems to be that they've got theirs has been sorted out as of this morning. But I've been watching across TikTok and different news feeds. People are like, yeah, I couldn't turn in my final project. They don't even know how bad it's gotten. And these guys, of course, are demanding money and want to have, or they're going to leak the students' information.
So in other words, what you're saying is the first place they should look is the IT department.
Yeah.
The IT classes are where you want to start looking.
Well, the group's called, let me look it up.
That's what's going to happen more and more until security gets tighter, because, having a password like 1234 doesn't help you.
Okay. He's doing the husbandly thing.
What the hell? Do we need to know that in the air?
He said, sorry, I'm in a musical recital for May. So, okay, we won't be able to talk to him today, but I will work on him.
Yeah, if he wants to come in
showing
next
up
week, I'll be here.
next week, because he's supposed to be in town next Friday.
That would be good.
We'll
He does
see
a
if
good
he
job
can
on the show.
make
He and May both are welcome. So,
And, Shocker, you'll appreciate that he is a budding mixologist who has a passion for chemistry and is very good with mixing things. And he likes to reach outside the boundaries and try new things. And he comes up with some pretty good things. He's got some potential.
I like to say we raised him right. And what I
Yep.
mean by that is all of us on the Friday Shot Day show have raised Jared right.
He has an open mind and he tries things out, which is part of it, because you got to try things,
Oh, yeah.
But he has some interesting concepts.
He does.
Things you don't think are going to work, and then all of a sudden he tries it and it works,
Yeah.
and you're like, wow, that's kind of neat.
Did you find the name of that hacker group?
Shiny Hunters.
Shiny Hunters?
Yeah.
You're smart enough to hack all those databases, but you're not smart enough to come up with a better name?
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel.
I probably shouldn't say that in the air. Next week the show won't be on because we'll be hacked. But
Yeah, we joked I'm going to do a punch tonight, and we're going to just call it data breach.
That sounds
that's
so
a great
much like
idea.
It's the study guide.
Yeah.
You make up interesting names, you come up with interesting things, and it works for that moment in time, and it's a lot of fun.
All right. Well, we're running out of time. I didn't realize it was late, and I wanted to play some videos because I have videos here from the very first time.
Last Borrachos first, real quick.
Yeah, we're going to do. Okay, let's do that first. Hold on. We'll do this first. Give me a second.
blundered it.
I'll wait
because
till
I
you're
got
ready.
half of it.
And then I got to show we have video clip, Shocker. The first time the original Friday Shot Day show tried Slivovitz. I found this. They're not great videos, but they're videos and they're pretty funny.
All right,
We did a lot of crazy things. All right, so here we go with this.
Los Borrachos Playhouse.
A nurse asked a patient to remove his clothing and put on a gown to be checked by the doctor. In front of you? He asked shyly. The nurse says, well, no, but I've seen naked human bodies before. The patient said, not one like mine. You'd die laughing at my naked body. Of course I won't laugh, said the nurse to the patient. I'm a professional. And in over 20 years, I've never laughed at a patient. Okay, then, said the patient, and he proceeded to drop his trousers, revealing a huge male body with the smallest adult male organ the nurse had ever seen in her life. In length and width, it was almost identical to a AAA battery. Unable to control herself, the nurse tried to stop a giggle, but it just came out. And then she started laughing at the fact that she was laughing, feeling very badly that she had laughed at the patient. The private parts, she composed herself as well as she could. I'm so sorry, the nurse said. I don't know what came over me. On my honor as a nurse and a lady, I promise it won't happen again. Now tell me, what seems to be the problem? It's swollen, the patient replied. She ran out of the room.
Los Borrachos Playhouse.
And then she told him to put ice on it. And he said, I don't want to be cold cocked. Yeah, sorry about that. All right. So many years ago, probably 15 years ago, no, had to be, about 15 years ago, we tried Slivovitz for the first time. Somebody told me about Slivovitz and they said they talked about how it was so popular in Europe. And in fact, I understand they actually distill it in front yards in Europe. And so they said, you should try it on the Friday Shot Day show. So we brought it in and we all gave it a try. And Doug was the first one to try it. And this is his reaction.
Smells good. He's making a face on his face. Not even worse. It's a sip and he's worse.
There goes Doug drinking a Slivovitz.
He took a sip and he's crying. Oh, he swished it. His eyes are watering. He's trying to keep them open. That's even worse. That is worse than anything we've ever had. Whoa. Kill the camera.
So that was Doug trying Slivovitz for the first time 15 years ago. That was in our first studio, which was actually at John's house in Ventura. And that was a long time ago.
Using the term house very loosely.
Yes, I am. John's abode might be a better term. All right, so Keith is next. Keith, and sadly, is no longer with us, but he was a fun part of the show. And Keith tried it, and it went like this. Keith probably won't make the
Make
face.
sure you swish it around your mouth.
Wait, should I taste first?
Sure. It's worse than we've ever had. Ooh, I hear it.
Who's next?
I knew he'd do that.
I'll do it. Now look at his, he's all tight in the face though.
You could tell from the last few seconds there that Keith was not enjoying himself. Johnny D was up next, and then you're going to get to see a picture of me that I wish nobody would ever see again. But this is John trying Slivovitz for the first time ever.
Yeah, it's got a nice aroma.
It does, but it smells good, but it's not.
Yeah, so does cat piss.
No, I don't think.
Oh, John is shuddering.
Wow!
Okay, who's gonna hold the camera on Scott?
Oh God, help me!
So we can see John not a big fan of it. Julie just said Band-Aids and roadkill. That's what it tastes like. And I pretty much see it. All right, so here I am 15 years ago trying Slivovitz for the first time. By the way, we still have a bottle on the shelf, and we occasionally pull it out to torture each other. But this is me 15 years ago.
Is the timer going? I have to explain to him how to use it.
Yes, it's going.
All right. Slivovich, sip first.
He's shaking his head on the sip.
Here we go.
What was that? You hate your brother?
Oh!
You know, this is something. This is something we should have on Jackass the movie.
Does that mean cut?
Please.
Oh, please what?
Oh, please, sir.
That was me 15 years ago.
And what's so funny is Jim gave Jared Slivovich to try to turn him off from alcohol, and Jared liked it.
He still likes Slivovitz. It's like, what's wrong with you? What about you,
He
Shocker?
also likes scotch. Jared prefers scotch to
A lot of people do. A lot of people
He
do.
likes that. And you know what I'm wondering? Because like cilantro, some people cannot eat cilantro because to them it tastes like soap.
Yes.
I love cilantro because to me it tastes like lemon, and I love cilantro in my food. I'm wondering if Slivovich is the same way. Like for some people, because of their makeup, it tastes very different than it does for other people.
It has to be. Shocker, you guys have Slivovitz in the bar there?
No, but I have a bottle of Malort for the next time you come up.
Oh, do you?
I had to have it smuggled in from Chi-Town.
Oh, that's too funny. Yeah. I've
They
been
don't
trying
sell
to.
it in the state.
What's that?
They don't sell Malort in Nevada.
Isn't that weird? Now, why? It's not banned, right? It's just no distributor carries it?
No distributor, and one of the distributors I work with claims that he's been trying for 5 years to get them to distribute here, and they keep coming up with a new reason why they can't.
But it's not like it's more alcohol or anything.
No, but it's a hideous napalm that you shouldn't be drinking.
You know,
There are far worse things out there. I mean, Malort is bad. Yes, I agree. But there are far worse things out there.
It's true.
yeah, so I can't get it here, so Rosie's sister brought some in for her last trip, but she also brought me in a bottle of Bundaberg from Australia and their OP rum, which you can't get in the States at all.
Oh, nice. That's pretty good stuff?
It's weaker than I remember it, so I don't know if they have a lower overproofed version in the stores in the airport than they do in town. But even my dad said, no, that's weaker than it was the bottles he brought home, but he brought those back in the 80s. And even like Jack Daniels lowered its proof in the late or in the 90s because it was 87 proof originally.
Well, Maker's Mark lowered their proof too by 2 or 3%, I think. And the distiller swore up and down that it was a better whiskey for it. And I can't say he's wrong, but it's just, you're always a little suspicious when something like that happens, you know?
Yeah, because we found a dusty liquor store in Oxnard that still had some pre-lowering bottles, and we ended up buying all of them.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Is there a difference in taste? Do you
I don't recall it being that much different.
Okay.
I mean, you're only at that point, you're only talking, what was it, 10% maybe.
Yeah.
So it makes it a little cheaper for them.
Right.
And then as Michael told me with Channel Islands Distillery, he goes, we may be aiming for one proof, but it's still going to be a plus or minus on either side. A few notes. Like because they got originally approved to sell the 152, the Poela.
Right.
And then a year or two later, the state came back and said, no, you can't have 152. You got to make it 151. And Michael's like, we didn't change anything. We just changed the label.
Okay, but why is that such a particular deal? 151 to 152. That's not that much difference either.
No, but it's what the state ABC wanted.
No.
It's like
Figures.
somebody selling something for $10.99 or $11. Everybody thinks, "Oh my God, I got a deal because it's $10.99." No, you didn't. It's a penny less.
That's why they always make it 99. I remember John at the 99-cent store when it went to the 99.9-cent store. He literally got in an argument with a clerk over the 0.1 cent. The sign should say, I'm all, John, would you please? You're embarrassing everybody in here. Well, it's not right. The sign says 99. It's 99.9. Oh my God. He drives you nuts. He does. All right. I'm going to close out today's show.
Like this ambiance.
Yeah, where's that coming from?
It's like
They're getting ready for the magic show tonight, so I think they're doing a lot. But I want to close out the show with this video of Doug, again from 15 years ago. And I think it summarizes the Friday Shot Day show to perfection. So let's run that. We'll come back and say our goodbyes and move on. But this is, I believe this is performance art with Doug showing you what he thinks the Friday Shot Day show would be experienced as if it was an art form.
Found out I got a radiator leak. That's just, a little bit.
I'm sorry, John, but your car story is not as interesting
Doug
as
is blowing up his condom. It's about 3 feet long and about a foot in diameter.
I have it now. Come on, Doug.
Come on, baby.
I'm videotaping this for the
I
MySpace
hope
page.
those aren't lubricated.
I think John Holmes would be envious. That's about 4 feet long.
Come on, Doug.
Woo! Damn! This can go to about 4 feet long and about a foot in diameter.
I can wear one and feel safe.
You could tell it wasn't lubed.
Really?
It was the condom, yeah. What was that?
Holy
You
shit.
could tell it wasn't lubed.
No, it was not lubed, and it didn't even have a reservoir tip. But
Okay, so those people who say that they break, well, you're just using them right.
yeah, I watched that today, and I thought that just sums up the show for me in general. That's what we do. That's how stupid the show is. So, Shocker, I'm so glad you were able to join us today. It's good to see. I'm so happy that Pele Utu is doing so well. I'm especially happy because I can go to bars and tell people about it. Oh yeah, well my friend has a bar in.
And I keep hoping my son, maybe he's talking about maybe getting stationed somewhere around there. And I'm like, yeah, go ahead. Because then I can just pop on over to Pele Utu.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm trying to put together a weekend where we all go up there and just do a live show. We want to get up on that stage and do a live show. And
He's gonna kidnap me so that my husband.
well, you're part of that weekend. We got to figure that out. But we got to do that so we can
absolutely.
yeah, and just hang out. Plus, I miss the hell out of you and Rosie is what I'm saying.
Yep.
Well, we miss you guys too.
Together.
So we'll do that. But anyway, I'm glad you were able to join us for the 20th anniversary. I didn't want to play all the usual things we play every show because it's every anniversary show because they get kind of repetitive even if it's annually. So I found these things were a little bit different today. So especially Doug blowing the condom. And I will always call that video that Doug blowing the condom.
And if you look in chat, you'll see the Friday Shot Day Slivovitz bottle.
I saw that. That's beautiful.
I made that for you guys years ago.
Yep.
I wish I could share it now because I would, but I don't think I can. Let me look. Yeah, I can't share it right now, but next week for sure I will. So anyway, have a great weekend and give us the website so people can check out where to go for Pele Utu.
It's peleutu.com. Tomorrow night we've got the Cape Fear Jazz Quartet coming in.
Very nice. That'll be fun.
Yeah,
before you go, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Did you have more?
Well, it's funny because the first time they played, Rosie and I were both talking, and it was like every swanky movie from the 50s and 60s when they go into the jazz club, that's the type of jazz these guys are playing.
Do they play any of the Bernard Herrmann music from the movie?
No, not necessarily, but it's that vibe you get.
No, I was just saying that might be kind of cool because that's a pretty impressive theme. It's famous to this day. So, they're making another movie.
Are they really?
Yeah, Javier Bardem is playing the De Niro and who is the original guy? Greatest actors of all time. Come on.
I don't know, but I'll tell you, Cape Fear was one of those movies, and I'm a horror person when I watch stuff like that, and that was a very unsettling movie. I had a very difficult time watching that movie.
You're talking about the 1991 one?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, the way that they played that, it was very difficult to watch that and not be like, holy crap.
And that's the same with the original too.
Unsettling.
It was Robert
Unsettling.
Mitchum, by the way, who we know did a Tiki album.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right. So
There is some stuff that it just creeps you out.
Oh, yeah.
Gets deep into those bones and makes
That's-
you feel like, "Ugh."
that's the whole point of that movie. And I hope they don't screw it up this time, because they didn't screw it up the second time, but the third time anything can happen. So
Well, it looks like they're making a TV show, not a movie.
oh, is it a mini series? This is the one with Javier Bardem, right?
Let's see. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
You never can tell. They're doing so much quality television now.
well, they're
Well,
doing.
television is taking
It's not a
forefront
mini
of the
series,
movie.
but it's Apple TV, and there's at least 10 episodes planned out.
Apple
first one-
TV is
It's
First one-
great.
it's got
June
some good
5th.
stuff coming out of it.
Yeah, but I don't have 10 episodes. That's, I mean, if it's 43 minutes an episode, that seems like too much.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll watch it anyway, because the two movies were great. So
Yeah.
All right. Julie?
I'm going to be in Virginia next week. It's a dry house, so I can't partake in the show. But I will miss everybody, and hopefully my son can take my place.
Tell everybody hi back there for us. And yeah, let Jared know he's more than welcome. He and May both are very welcome to come in, and we'll do the show together here.
Yeah, I raised that boy right, and he
We
damn
did.
well knows it, because he is doing a great job. He's even got his own little setup in his house. He's got this like little mini bar thing, and he's got all of his liquors and everything on this little mini bar thing that he's got set up, and he has all the glasses and the stuff that you bought him, and he's becoming a regular at Total Wines, and he knows the people over there now, so he talks to them on a regular basis, and they share all sorts of little ins and outs of things. And
You must have told him I wasn't getting the pictures from him, because I started getting them again.
I don't know. He's been busy. Obviously, it's the end of the school year. And Jared is one of these kids who his grades mean everything to him. And as the end of the school year rounds about, he's going to hit the stress level. And so his focus is completely on that. If he doesn't get an A, he failed in his mind. That's just how he
Hey,
is.
more power to him. I like that kind of confidence.
He works 110% devoted to what he's doing. But I know that he's been, because he even with me, he was calling me, quite often, and all of a sudden it backed off, and I knew it's because he's like
Busy.
focusing on his stuff.
Shocker, what's the drink you're gonna have tonight? The special?
It's probably going to be a Blood of the Kaputiki, but we're going to call it Data Breach.
Data breach.
I will let Jared know. He will appreciate that.
Yeah, you'll probably sell a buttload of those just because of what the people who come to that place.
Is he
A lot of students, right?
Are you in a college town? Is that like
We're
college
we're a few blocks from UNR, but we're not necessarily a college bar. Kids don't. So we've got regular college kids that come in all the time, but the majority of them don't like the fact that we don't serve crappy beer and idiot shots. So like one fraternity came in last night. That's how I got all the gossip. But they come in, like once a month.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, I don't want this to sound wrong, but you're going to get the more sophisticated, smarter kids who are looking for an adventure. Then you're going to get the party boys who just want to go drink beer until they pass out.
All right. So tell me the name again. What are you calling it?
Data breach.
Data breach.
Yes. That's Data's last name from Star Trek. Did you know that?
I thought that's how he was born.
Yeah, that's both ways. It works both ways. All right, Shocker, we'll see you soon. I'm so glad you joined us today, and we'll see you again very soon.
Nice to
and we're
see you.
trying to figure something out to get us up to Paleo to do a show. That's my bucket list remote. I want to do a remote from Paleo for sure. So tell Rosie we said hi and everybody else, and go sell some data breaches.
All right. Aloha, fuckers.
Hello. And we're going to close out with this, and we'll see you next week.
Found out I got a radiator leak. That's just, a little bit.
I'm sorry, John, but your car story is not as interesting
Dog
as
is boy of its kind. It's about 3 feet long and about a foot in diameter.
I have it now. Come on now.
Come on, baby.
We were taping this for the
I
MySpace
hope
page.
those aren't lubricated.
I think John Holmes would be envious. Now it's about 4 feet long.
Come on now.
Woo! Damn! This can go to about 4 feet long and about a foot in diameter.
I can wear one and feel safe.
Brought to you by The Grape, Ventura County's premier jazz venue and cocktail lounge, located at 2733 East Main Street in Ventura. For menu and music schedule, visit them online at thegrape.club. This has been a Rough Edge Studios production.